This week's best MMA bets, we're talking UFC Vegas 85. I'm going to give you guys my lock of the week, my most confident picks, favorite underdogs. We'll talk degenerate props of the night, and then we'll finish it out with the parlays. So make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Turn the post notifications on and make sure to share the video as well. Last card, the lock fumbled, but it's my fault because I tried to throw it in the main event. I had Sean Strickland. He loses a competitive split decision to Duplessis. In all actuality, looking back, I think that I got way too overconfident in the Strickland boxing because of that performance with Adesanya. And then against Duplessis, regardless of how you felt, it went. I did score it 3-2 for Strickland, but I'm not going to sit here and argue the decision, all right? I can bullshit and banter that it's a robbery, but in all actuality, it's a coin flip fight. He definitely didn't perform to the level that he did against Izzy last time out. So that was a fumble of a lock, but it's all good because I'm still crushing the locks for the most part. 13 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw over the past 17 weeks is not something to be upset about. And this week, because of last week, I said, man, I'm bringing savagery, but it's some internal gut savagery, okay? It's not just raw, blind savagery. I got an underdog this week. So without further ado, the lock of the week.
Pete, Degen Rodriguez!
Pete Rodriguez to beat Themba Gorimbo. Yes, I am locking a large underdog who might be relatively unproven, but has a lot of promise. Boxing skill set definitely is there. Punching power, legit. Scary stand-up game is what I love about Pete Rodriguez. Now, he's going to be expected to get grinded out and bullied in the grappling by Themba Gorimbo. I will give you this fact. I don't think Gorimbo is elite on the ground. He doesn't have this Division I wrestling background. He bullied a washed Takashi Sato. Before that, he lost to AJ Fletcher. And it's like he's the next coming of, Kings over here. Minus 250 as the favorite. Gorimbo's a crazy wide favorite. For what? What has he shown us? He landed a big overhand on Sato, who's pretty chinny. Pete Rodriguez has been doing jiu-jitsu a long time. He's no slouch on the floor. Just because he hasn't shown it in the UFC, when they strike, Gorimbo's going to be clunky, awkward, and I think he's going to be ripped up. Pete Rodriguez will find the chin. I'm going Pete Rodriguez knockout win. It's plus 210 right now for Pete Rodriguez. He's going to be in that plus 200 range as the dog, and that's why I'm going dog. As soon as I saw this fight, it all just made sense to me, and that was my gut lock. I'm going with my gut, and I know the odds are wide, and that can sway you the other way. You're like, man, is this reality? He's this big of a favorite. The books don't think, Pete Rodriguez has much of a chance, but fuck the lines. We're going off what I think is going to happen. Throw the lines out the window. Pete Rodriguez is clearly the better striker. Maybe Themba Gorimbo better offensively with the grappling. But what has he really shown? He's beaten one guy. Means nothing to me. It's Pete Rodriguez knockout. He's going to bust him up on the feet. He's going to chin him. He still touched Jack Della. Rodriguez is one of those weird cases where he fought the worst guy in UFC history, Mike Jackson, and he's fought one of the best at welterweight, Jack Della. So, he lies somewhere in the middle, and I think he's better than Gorimbo. We just don't know yet. Obviously, you could touch a knockout prop because that is how I'm picking it to go down. It's plus 265 for that Pete Rodriguez KO win. We're going Pete Rodriguez. We're going W. We're going knockout. I like the money line, but realistically, him getting a KO makes a ton of sense here. That is my lock of the week, Savage Dog Mode. Let's keep running. Let's talk about some of my most confident picks on the card. I'm going to bring the 4 up on the screen, one of which is actually not a straight fight prediction, but rather an over that I thought was very sneaky. So, Natalia Silva, Gilbert Urbina, the McCann Belbita over a round and a half, and Azat Maxim. Those are my 4. I'm excited about all 4 of them. I'm going to get in detail about each one here, all right? First, Natalia Silva. I am picking her to win a competitive fight versus Viviane Araujo, but I'm going to believe in the prospect. The line is juiced, but it's a most confident pick. I see her getting her hand raised at the end. The line sucks. I understand. It's minus 350. I get it. I'm not telling you that this section is the best odds ever. I think she wins the fist fight, though. Over 2.5, minus 300, probably. Silva straight, minus 350. Silva by a decision, minus 135. There's really minimalistic money line onslaught here. There is, pretty crappy prop of a decision. So what are you doing with this fight? You're probably in a position where you put this in a parlay. And I think of it as a parlay piece. So stay tuned. Parlay section at the end. You're going to see Natalia's name again. But she is going to pull it off. And I do think she beats a very game Araujo in the biggest fight of her career. Next up, Gilbert Urbina, who's taken on Charles Radke. If you guys watch Monday Moneyline, I don't have the exact name of the guy, but supposedly, word on the street is Radke was beating up a former UFC lightweight champ. I don't know. Jim Savages sometimes don't deliver in the cage. Nonetheless, on paper, my pick is clearly Urbina. He's athletic. He's long. He can strike. He's got good grappling. He's strong. Comes from a fighting family. Now, so does Radke. And Radke's been around a long time. He was unimpressive against Blood Diamond. And he is a small welterweight, whereas Urbina is a large welterweight. Then I take into consideration, I think Urbina's quicker as well. Better on the feet and with competent ground skills. Urbina should get the win. Now, he's a minus 200 range favorite. Little wide, but he'll pull it off. How does he get it done? Well, you could touch inside of the distance to say on the safer side at plus 120. Or if you're thinking there's a chance of this club and sub, which is definitely possible, it's plus 425 for that. Now, knockout, I will also read that off for Urbina, plus 240. But we shall see. Radke, maybe he's going to prove us all wrong here, and he's kicking ass against a former world champ in the gym. Time will tell. We'll find out Saturday. From what the films told me, from what the stats have said, and from what this thing tells me, Urbina's going to win this fight. We're going Urbina for the win. Pulling it off. High confidence call. And I'm not just going to sway my pick because of words on the streets. You know what I'm saying? Little rumblings. We don't know if that's even true. The next one, this is the over for the McCann-Belbita fight. Are you kidding me? Over 1.5. How is that not a lock? I mean, most confident pick. Sorry, the lock is already called. But you know what I mean? Like, how is that not everybody's high confidence call of the night for an over? Belbita hasn't finished anybody in the UFC. She's 2-5 in the UFC. I don't even get this hype. Molly McCann beat her before, and she's going to beat her again. McCann's losing against good grapplers. Belbita is a striker. She got out-grappled by Molly last time. Yeah, I think that Belbita's gotten better. For sure. And I'm not trying to diss her. I like Belbita. I think she's a tough girl. But, like, better to beat Molly? Oh, but it's at 125. Or it's at 115, not 125. That was at 125. It's at 115. Molly's going to have a trouble cut, and she's going to look like shit. She looks pretty shredded on the gram. Go check her out. I think she's in good shape. I think she's on weight. I think this fight's going over 1.5, though. I don't even need to pick the winner. It don't matter. I'm picking Molly Meatballs, though. Minus 240, over 1.5. I'm putting that in the most confident pick section. I don't normally do that, but I ask myself why. I make the fucking rules. So most confident pick on this section. This one here is an over 1.5. Meatballs, Belbita. Let's go. And the final of the most confident pick section is Azat Maxim. He's taking on a short notice Charles Johnson who struggles with pressure wrestlers. There is a clear-cut game plan. Maxim, strike a little bit, engage in grappling, pressure Charles Johnson. If Maxim's gas tank can hold up, then he won't be in significant risk territory to get knocked out in the third round. Realistically, even later in the fight, I think that Maxim's going to have the ability to control Charles Johnson. Johnson coming in on short notice. It's one of these most confident picks, though, where I don't love calling it, but I had to. I'm like, what's the fourth? Like, it is that. Did I want to throw Markel Medeiros, who's unproven? I think he wins, but he hasn't proven shit. Do I want to throw Thomas Peterson? What happens when Pogue stays on his feet and touches him up? I'm picking those other two that I call, but they didn't feel deserving of this spot. Azat Maxim is a Kazakhstan prospect. Outside of Shavkat Rakhmonov and Borat, he's the most famous guy from the country. And I think he can take it pretty far in the UFC, at least to the top 15. And beating Charles Johnson is a must. We got plus 185 Charles Johnson as a dog. He's game as fuck, but he's going to lose a decision. Maxim minus 220. I think we're probably going over 2.5, which is minus 265. Something worth noting. Maxim by decision plus 105. But Maxim could sub up a short notice Charles Johnson, and then you're going to be shitting yourself that you just threw it down on the over. So Maxim by sub, I'll read it off. It is plus 475. Interesting. That's Degen like. That could have been in the Degen prop section, but it's not. It's right here. We'll see. We shall see. Let's keep running and jumping, and let's go to favorite underdogs. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you smash the likes. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Let's talk favorite underdogs. Obviously, Pete Rodriguez is an underdog lock, but these are my other two dogs on the card that I think have a high probability of coming through, or at least an okay probability of coming through, as I'm saying. And I'm like, okay, I get the concern. We got Salikhov, we got Builder. I get why my Salikhov pick has been shitting all over. But how impressive was Brown against Wellington Turman? Yeah, not impressive. Competitive as hell. Muslim Salikhov rips legs nicely, and Brown plants that lead foot. Salikhov is a dangerous striker. Randy Brown's been hurt in fights in the past. Salikhov is a good center of gravity. He's not easy to bully in the ground. It's not easy to throw around. I think he can win this fight. So Salikhov is plus 240. Don't go betting your lunch money and everything. I mean, maybe bet your lunch money, to be honest. Don't go betting your rent money on Salikhov. I got an underdog lock already. But I do think Salikhov has a much better chance than people are seeing. I think he can beat Randy Brown. I think at the very least we can go into the later stages and Salikhov can take it to the cards. Minus 160 for an over 2.5. I'll read that off as well. Now with Blake Builder, he's plus 120. I guess I just don't really believe in Lee much at this point. That's the honest fact. It's not that Builder's so damn good. It's that I don't believe in Lee's game. And I think Blake Builder can take him down. So I'm going to pick Builder to win a decision. Plus 120 money line for Blake Builder. I think he's a decent underdog. He was undefeated coming in the UFC. Took 1L to Nelson up in Canada. He was a good striker. Who's experienced. I'm not writing him off yet. Blake Builder, underdog pick. Those are my favorite dogs. I want to jump to the next section, which is this Degen prop of the night. I remixed the name. If you guys tuned in last year to the show, you would know it as the value bets and prop section. But instead, I said, I got to spice it up a little bit. I got to spice the name up. All right. Moicano, Dober, under 2.5, minus 250, minus 260. Yes, it hits the under 2.5. Moicano, by submission, my official prediction. Plus 175. Something to read off. Okay? Okay. I'm picking Moicano to win this fight. I know Dober's got heavy hands and he's a dangerous underdog. But I think Moicano gets him to the mat, and I think his striking's better than we give credit to. Peterson, early in the night, pulling it off inside of the distance. Plus 140. I think ground and pound is live, but when I have a fighter that is good from top position, the sub has to be live too. KO's plus 250, sub plus 500. Peterson has all finishes, one sub, the rest all ground and pound knockouts. I think he's probably getting an inside the distance win here. So plus 140 would be a smart play, I think. And then, in the main event of the evening, we're going over 2.5. I'm picking Imavov, but that's a dangerous pick. Minus 160 for over 2.5. I think that probably hits. I think Imavov's grappling defense will fend off Roman Dolidze's very good ground skills. And then I think Dolidze, being tough as nails, is going to be able to eat some big shots from Imavov. And the same goes for Imavov taking big shots from Dolidze. We're probably going over 2.5. That is minus 160. Those are the Degen props of the night. Actually, I want to add one more. I have to add it. This is off the cuff. This wasn't written down. I thought about it, but I didn't want to. What about Kizriev by sub? Plus 300. I think he's live to submit Mukhmad Muradov. So that is a little late night degenerate edition because it's the Degen section. Why not throw a Degen last minute edition? Let's jump to the parlays and let's talk about some things. The fame section, the fan favorite section, the damn parlays. What are we doing this week with parlays? Well, I told you guys last card that I am doing it A little better than before. Why? What does that mean? That means that I'm going to be intelligent here and I'm writing things down always beforehand, and I'm not just off the cuff parlaying it, okay? Urbina, good call. Over, very good call. Minus 100 if you get those two together. And you might even find better value than that, but this is going to hit. Minus 104. It's like minus 100, though. Depends where you're at. You want to add a little more steam to it. You like Natalia Silva? You think she's a future title challenger? Now you're in plus 156 territory. You think Azat Maxim takes out the short notice Charles Johnson? And I'm going to say this. I'm damn good at the flyweight predictions. I'm on fire with my flyweight locks. Boom, plus 290. Good 4-fighter play. Pete Rodriguez, underdog, plus 1109. You're getting in that plus 1,000 territory. Now, you can add more to this lineup and then, risk it all. But what I'd rather do instead is create more safe calls, right? Maybe you just want two fighters. You don't want to play an over, and you don't like Maxim. You don't like Natalia. You want Urbina on your slate. You think he's beaten Charles Radke, and then I guess somehow will be like an on-the-street world champ. And then you also think Pete Rodriguez wins. You got plus 370 for those two together. I don't think that's a crazy play. I don't think that's a bad idea. Azat Maxim with just the over in the meatballs fight, minus 104. That's pretty good. Maxim with Natalia Silva, a little alternate action because maybe Radke beating up the world champs is true. Now you got minus 100. I think that's pretty quality. Markel Medeiros, you believe in the prospect? I do. Plus 250. You think Peterson wins? Let's go. Plus 465. Now let's just go crazy with it. Now it's off the cuff. Now this is Degen shit. Plus 759. We'll throw the over here. In the ladies fight, plus 1,000. We'll throw Pete Rodriguez, plus 3,000. We're going to then throw in... Did we throw underdog first? No, we're going to throw Stoliarenko first, plus 6,000. And now, okay, we're going to add in underdog. I don't want to throw in 39-year-old dog. I'd rather just money line that one. But Blake Builder, you're at plus 14,000. Now just to be a complete degen, Salikhov, plus 45,000. Holy shit, the odds of hitting this. Hey, we got an over 1.5 here. Are you kidding me? Plus 18,000 now? Holy shit. Holy shit. Yeah, we're getting degen-like. But you guys can tell where my head is at with the parlays. I'm happy with this section today. I don't want to go too nuts and add too much craziness off the top of the dome. But that's where my head is at with everything. Betting-wise, I think there's some sweet attacks you can make. Bet intelligently, as always. Be moderate with your attacks, and hey, let's kick some ass. Let's win some fucking bets this weekend. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this week's Best MMA Bets. Looking forward to that weigh-in recap show so we can see everything post-weigh-in and get an idea of how the fighters looked on the scales. Get some maybe confirmation with Molly Meatballs on weight looking good. Maybe that even ups the confidence in her. Much love, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you smash the likes, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you lock. Let me know some of your favorite bets on the card. I want to know what my people are thinking. Live streams are every single day. If you didn't know that, now you do. So make sure you tune into the daily live streams. Make sure you tune into the daily content. So turn those post notifications on and don't just leave them on personalized. Put them on all so you don't miss a video. Much love, everybody. If you got nothing to say in the comments, W in the chat. Boost the algorithm for your boy. On the road to 27,000 subscribers, which I'm very excited about. I appreciate everybody supporting me. Much love, people. See you all on the next one. Peace.